What's up guys, it's your boy JT here, back at you with another video. To be honest guys, I'm clueless how half of these decks are played. Like, I've only been playing since 2014 now. I used to play in the old days, but whatever. So I'm going to be honest, clueless what these decks do, so I'm just making up as I go along what I reckon they do. Like, I know the gist of most of the cards, but I don't know. So anyway, let's get into it. Today's video is the 2006 World Championship winner, Dario Longo. He played Chaos Recruiter. No clue what this deck was supposed to do, but judging by the name, it's probably, well, running Recruiters, which is the Mystic, Tomatoes, and the Sangan, and that's it. They're the only Recruiters I know of. But anyway, let's get into it. So, first off, he ran 2 Chaos Sorcerer, the source of the Chaos part of the Decklist name. Basically, banish a light and dark from grave, and once per turn you can banish a monster on the field, a face-up monster on the field, sorry. But this card cannot attack the turn you activate the effect, so this is just a nice bit of spot removal. Next up, you got Zaborg, the Thunder Monarch. If he's tribute summoned, target monster on the field, destroy it. Just a bit of spot removal. Cyber Dragon, quick to summon. Basically, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it. But only if you don't control a monster. It's basically just this changed the game completely, because it's basically a 2-1 beat stick you can just summon turn 2, just out of nowhere. Next up, there's 2 Azura Priestess. Sorry, Azura Priest. Can't be normal summoned, but during the end phase of the turn, it returns to hand. Basically, like any spirit monster. And it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Basically, just clear their board. Next up, Windbreaker. Nice spot removal, gains a counter when he's summoned, and gains 300 attack for a counter on him, but you can remove a counter to pop a spell or trap. 1DD Warrior Lady. After damage calc, when it battles opponent's monster, you can banish both cards basically. It's just a nice way of getting around stuff. 2 Mystic Tomato. I think that's where the Recruiter part of the name comes from. This, when it's destroyed by battle, you can summon a dark monster with 1/5 or less attack from your deck in attack position. Targets such as Spirit Reaper and Cyberstein. Even Sangan. Although I don't know why you'd want to summon Spirit Reaper, because it can't be destroyed by battle and they're just going to keep ploughing into Spirit Reaper, so you're gaffed. Next up, 1 Tsukiyomi. When it's normal summoned or flip face up, just set a card. And like all spirits, returns to hand during the end phase. Next up, when exiled force, you contribute it to target a monster on the field and destroy it. Just spot removal. 1 Sangan, pre-errata, just when it's sent from field to grave, add a monster with 1/5 less attack from your deck to hand. Just a great searcher. 2 Spirit Reaper. If it gets targeted, destroy it, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent by direct attack, discard a card from your hand. Also, it can't be destroyed by battle. 1 Mystical Swordsman level 2. As a damage step, if this card attacks face down defense position monster, destroy the monster. Basically just a way of getting around set monsters without having to actually battle them. And also during the end phase, if this card is destroyed, this card destroy the monster. Well, no, that effect doesn't matter because they're not running level 4. 1 Cyberstein, busted card, pay 5,000 to summon any fusion monster from your extra deck. So you just summon Cybren for a beat stick. Master of Oz, even bigger beat stick. We'll get into the extra deck in a bit. 2 Magician of Faith, basically just flip effect, add a spell from your grave to hand, really nice. 1 Confiscation, pay a K, look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from it. 1 Heavy Storm, just nuke the back row. 2 Creature Swap, each player takes control of a monster opponent controls, but the player chooses the card that their opponent gets. 1 Rota, just add a level 4 Lower Warrior. 2 noblemen to cross out, set monster removal, 1 graceful charity, busted card, draw 3, discard 2, dig deep into your deck. 1 last will, if a monster on your side of the field was sent to grave this turn, you can special summon a monster with an attack of 1/5 or less from your deck during this turn, and then shuffle your deck. But old card text, you shuffle your deck anyway. 1 smashing ground, you destroy the face-up monster your opponent controls has the highest defense. 1 MST, nice bit of removal, just spot removal for back row. 1 Book of Moon, just set a card your opponent controls. Sorry, set a monster your opponent controls. 1 Scapegoat, just summon 4 goat tokens, and they can't be tributed for a tribute summon. 2 Enemy Controller, tribute a monster, take control of opponent's monster, or change the opposition of the monster your opponent controls. 1 Snatch Steal, take control of opponent's monster, and join each of their standby phases. Is it? Yeah, each of their standby phases they gain a K. 1 Mirror Force, just blow up all attack position monster your opponent controls when they declare an attack. 1 Torrential, blow up all monsters on the field when the monster is summoned, and 2 Royal Decrees, just negate all trap cards on the field. Next up, the extra deck. 1 Cyber End, 4K beat stick that does piercing. Master of Odds, 4/2 beat stick. Cyber Twin can attack twice and 28 attack. Gatling Dragon, toss a coin 3 times to throw as many monsters on the field as possible, but not more than the number of heads you flipped. The Last Warrior from Another Planet, total control card. 1 is special summon to throw monsters on your side of the field except this card. As long as it remains face up on the field, neither player can normal summon, flip summon, or special summon any monsters. So basically, your opponent's forced to set monsters, and then you've got to attack into them for them to come face up. 1 Darkblade the Dragon Knight. Each time a card inflicts spell damage to your opponent, you can select up to 3 monster cards from your opponent's grave and remove them from play. Wow, that's actually pretty nuts. 1 Dark Flare Knight. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. When this card is destroyed with battle and sent to the grave, special summon 1 Mirage Knight from your hand or deck. 1 Ryu Senshi. You can only be conducted with the above materials as long as this card remains face up on the field. Negate the effects of normal trap cards by paying a K. Gates if a spell card attacks this card and destroy it. Phoenix Gold Dragon. Basically negate the effects of flip effect monsters and negate any trap effects that target this card in the field and destroy them. Dark Bolter, same as Ryo Senshin, but for spells, pay a K to negate, and the effect of an effect monster that targets it is negated. Reaper on the Nightmare. Can't be destroyed by battle. Destroy it when it's targeted by a spell, trap, or effect monster. You cannot attack your opponent's life points directly, even if there is a monster in your opponent's side of the field. If this card successfully attacks your opponent's life points directly, your opponent discards 1 card randomly from their hand. Dark Fire Dragon. Don't see why you'd summon that over any of the other things. It's got no effect and it's just 1/5. And then Thousand Eyes for control. Other monsters can't change the battle positions or attack, and you can equip 1 monster your opponent controls to this card and it gains the attack of that monster. Last step, we'll look at the side deck. 2 Mobius. When should we summon, pop 2 spell traps on the field. Gold Warlord of the Dark World. This card discards the grave by a card effect. You can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls. Special summon this card from the grave, then destroy those targets if any, but the targets are if they discard it with their effect. 2 Karibo, prevent the next damage you would take from battle. 3 Poison of the Old Man, gain 1200 or burn your opponent for 800. 1 Emergency Provision, send any number of spell traps you control to the grave to gain a K for each card sent. 3 Wabaku, you don't take damage or your monsters can't be destroyed by battle this turn. 1 Ceasefire, just flip everything up and then burn your opponent for 500 for each effect monster on the field, and the flip effect monsters don't activate. and One Dust Tornado. Basically just the worst MST, but you get to set afterwards. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.